What's going on, everyone? Josh Miho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the debut album from the band Backyard Mortuary, entitled Lure of the Occult. This is self-released. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they're based out of Sydney, Australia, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be pretty much straight-up old-school style of death metal. If you are familiar with Autopsy or Incantation or older Morbid Angel, this is the sound that Backyard Mortuary are trying to create. I first heard about this band by way of a good buddy of mine who does work at the Brutal Existence radio website. Pretty much online radio with underground metal artists. And Backyard Mortuary was one of the bands I got introduced to. I heard a few songs from this band, and I really loved what I heard. Was pretty much captivated by it. And, yeah, I contacted the band, bought a copy, waited a few weeks for it to reach U.S. soil, and finally I got my copy. So thanks, guys, for sending it to me. And, listened to it a couple of times, and let me just run down some quick little thoughts as quickly as possible. It's 8 tracks, and it runs around 43 minutes in length, so it's going to be, you're going to get some reasonably lengthy songs on here. But with this album, you'll come to realize that this is a band that's not really trying to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. But the way they deliver it, it sounds really heavy. It's very impressive, and there is so much potential for this band to be better, bigger and better in my view. Anyways, guitar work on here, it's pretty much what you would expect from an old school style of death metal sound. Just the way the riffs are played, very heavy, almost melodic and catchy at times, to the more buzzing kind of solo work. There's some really good, memorable solos on here, pretty impressive. I like what I hear with the solos on this record. The bass is nice and clear, audible, not overly dominant like you would have expected it to be, but still the bass delivers some solid goods here. Drums, this is where you hear a little bit of a 80s thrash kind of influence with just the way some of the beats are. Pretty fast, kind of thrashy type of beats. Nice solid blast beats and double bass. Really old school sounding. It has that authentic old school vibe to the drums, just the way the snare and kick sound. Really good solid drums here. And vocal wise, the vocals remind me a lot of Autopsy around the Mental Funeral, Acts of the Unspeakable era, where Chris Reifert had that echo in his voice, that creepy kind of echo in his voice, and those kind of vocals are distributed here. Very depraved, maniacal, guttural, to even the more crazed kind of vocal stylings, like on the track Mutilation, I think, he lets out this really wicked kind of laugh, and it's pretty awesome. But aside from the echo kind of effect, the vocals work pretty well here. I really dig them. So overall, like I said, this isn't anything that's reinventing the wheel, but still, the way this band delivers the music, it sounds absolutely impressive. It's heavy. If you're into old school death metal, I mean, I can pretty much put this... It sort of reminds me of another release that came out earlier this year, Horrendous, The Chills. They had a pretty much authentic old school style of death metal, and Backyard Mortuary is another one of those bands that really continues on with that style. Whether you're into it or not is another question, but this is absolutely impressive, and if you're into old school death metal, Backyard Mortuary is the band for you. So if I had to pick any tracks, I'd have to say Mutilation, Deprivation, Macabre Butchery, and the closing track, Demon's Blood, which runs around 8 minutes in length. It's a lengthy song, but it does hold your attention, so I'm going to show you the album again. This is Lure of the Occult by Backyard Mortuary. This is self-released. Check it out. Contact the band if you want to buy a copy from them. And I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Really impressive debut, but I feel that there is much better to come from this band. So I'm looking forward to hearing more from Backyard Mortuary in the future. So support this band. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until next time, Army Ho out.